I think we are ready now. Officially, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having a time to join our video conference. All colleagues from Sege Chamber, Temišvar Chamber, and Republika Srpska Chamber. Well, we know each other very well, so there is no need for a presentation of regions or something. Our idea was to have all of you together with staff from the Vojvodina Chamber to share some ideas and experience for previous period that is covered with the COVID activities, if I can say something like that. Just before we start work, I would like our president, Mr. Boško Vučurević, to give us some welcoming speech and share some ideas with us. Mr. Vučurević, please.
Thank you very much, Milan. First of all, I wanted to tell you that I'm very glad that we are going to hold this conference. And first of all, I want to greet you, and it is my great pleasure to be with you and to support this conference. So because of that, I'm here, and you are all chambers are the chambers which we have a very friendly cooperation, and also we have agreement, and we have let's say together history. Everyone knows in how this period is very hard for us, and you know that in accordance to COVID-19 or Corona virus, every economy stops. We cannot stop. We have to continue and to do our best to have and to work more and to make advances for our economies. This today topic is interregional development, because it's for us and for you, it's most important to have a regional good connection. Generally, I will tell to everyone that activities in economy cannot stop and cannot wait. We must adapt on this situation what we are today. For me, the focus have to be on exporters from every sides to help our exporters to be present in various markets in this hard conditions. Generally, I wish you a good working for today. I wish you to exchange a lot of things for our economies. I mean, interregional economies, and help our companies to be much present than we are today. So I've been giving to my colleagues to lead this conference, and I expect a lot of useful things for everyone that we are going to exchange today. So thank you very much, and good luck for this conference. Thank you.
Thank Mr. Vučurević. I agree definitely. I think that we all realize that interregional cooperation look like one of the milestones for our economy, each of our country's economy or regional economy in common. And that's why we are thinking that such a conference can be future of our activities, not only our chamber and your chamber, but all chambers in Europe and in the world. I would just say that yesterday we had one video conference in the one of the Russian regions, it's Samara region, and the Vojvodina Chamber first time in the history signed online cooperation.
Sorry for interruption. Sorry.
Future, of course, that we would like that activities that would follow up those agreements will be old-fashioned and traditional business mission. But before that, as Mr. Vučurević said, we do need support for our companies. That's why we will be grateful if can share experience in relationship with your chambers and your members, your company in the previous 5-6 months. So it's my pleasure to give a floor, online floor, to Dr. Trašenoľak Zuzana, Secretary of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Csongrád County from Szegedin, Hungary. Please.
Thank you very much, your kind invitation. I'm happy to be here. But
I think you are mute. Please, can you unmute?
I am muted. Hello. Hello.
We can hear you.
Yes. Yes. Do you hear?
Yes, we can hear. They cannot hear. I don't know why.
Yeah. So. Do you hear? So.
Yes. Sorry about that problems. I think on the YouTube channel you can be heard, but we in our room have no your voice, and we had it just a couple of minutes ago.
Yes. Hello? Hello?
Just one sec, please.
Okay. Hello?
Well, sorry about that. We try now.
Welcome to the conference. I'm here. Hello?
Not yet.
Not yet. Hello?
I think you should carry on with your presentation. We will sort out. I think everyone else can hear you. So please.
Okay. I would like to share my slides. So I'm happy to be here in this online conference. First of all, I would like to share that our country name is has changed. It's a new name, that Csongrád County. So our chamber the same, but we have a new county name. But I would like to share some economic data and some information our chamber. First of all, I would like to show you the GDP changes As you know, in the second quarter, the European Union's economic performance fell more than 14%. We can compare the GDP of Hungary is decreased by 13%. If we see the registered job seekers numbers, we can see that from March to June, the number of registered job seekers increased intensively. In July, despite the decrease, about 50,000 more people sought work than a year earlier. The percentage of registered job seekers in Hungary increased to 7.8%. The trend is similar in Interegional country, but our situation is slightly better. The percentage is lower, it's 5.4%. We see the businesses number. After the low point in April, there has been an increase in the number of enterprises. Twice as many private entrepreneurs suspended this entrepreneurial activity compared to a year earlier. 17% of private entrepreneurs suspended his entrepreneur activity at the end of August in Hungary. There were and there are many measures during COVID-19. The Chamber of Hungarian Commerce and Industry suggested many things, and there were many government intervention. Ensuring job retention and addressing emerging unemployment immediately. There was our chamber, and there were some government intervention about job preservation and job creation. And we did some document and gather data for companies from the priority sectors: tourism, food industry, logistic, transport. And there was a special support for this sector. Establishment of and proposals of financial working group was very important. And there was some financial intervention. Priority support for a viable domestic business community. It's very important. Solidarity measures for the common good. And there was a family and retirement program. We, as the president mentioned, we are working very hard because we gathered information, we did some survey about entrepreneur program. We have a newsletter with the latest news for businesses. It's very important to give the appropriate information for the companies. And there are many consultations with politicians, and the Hungarian Chamber of Commerce and Industry prepared and published a guide for SMEs. The name is SME Restart Survival Pack with the background information. And we have, as I mentioned, very important financial help for SMEs. In Hungary, there is a special program, the name is Széchenyi Card program. Is an existing credit program with the aim to boost the liquidity of Hungarian micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. SMEs can apply for loan at the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And there were many changes in this card program. And we have now 6 different type of cards. Job retention loan, overdraft, liquidity loan, investment credit, agricultural Széchenyi card, plus program, and a Széchenyi tourist card is a new card type from September. And we think not only crisis management, we focus on the futures, and the government also focus the future, and we started write a strategy in special economic development areas. And there are 4 different areas, and we work for South Plain economically area strategy. And last week we got very good news that our president, Mr. Pál Nemesi, works for Prime Minister Office as a government commissioner who is responsible for the South Plain Economic Development Area program. And he works very hard, and we focus on 3 different points, strategic point. First of all, the improve competitiveness of company, and the second is cross-border cohesion, and the third point is also very important, the climate-friendly, resource efficient environmental development. And we are gathering project not only in Csongrád, Csanád, Békés and Bács country, but also Vojvodina. Our partner is the president of the Alliance of Vojvodina Hungarians, Mr. Pastor, and the deadline is October, and we are working on a state of art and status and the strategy for the future. We focused the projects, and we are waiting the project for this strategy from your side also. So thank you for your attention, as it was only some short slides, and if you have any question, I will try to answer for this.
Thank you very much, Susanna. A lot of interesting thing. Personally, I have a couple of questions, but if you agree, I would like to hear all chambers, and then we can start debate and question. I'm interested for those loan and those guys, but I will leave it if you all agree after our presentation. That was almost a year when your president Paul Nemesi announced some new plans for Triangle Timisoara, Novi Sad. Well, then Corona time start. I think that's been postponed by all 3 governments. And I suggest that we are moved now to Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture of the Timish country from Timisoara. Our colleague Christina and Stan are there. Hello.
Yes, hello.
We would also like to hear how is your region and your chamber dealing with the new situation, and about relationship with your companies, maybe your suggestion, not only in the measure by government, but by chamber itself. So please take a floor.
Yes, we don't have a presentation to show you. We will just try to say a few words about the situation in Timiș County. And I would like to mention in the first place that as in your countries, to our country, the membership is not something that is obliged for them. It's optional. That's why we have just 600 members in our Chamber of Commerce. So that's not the number of all the companies in Timiș County. This is that I wanted to mention to you. Yeah, as we know from our members, yes, we did a survey. The secretary of each domain and each section between our members, they did a survey, they talked with them, they shared their problems with us, their rough times. Many of the companies have closed their activities. Many has postponed their activities. Of course, for some of them, not much of them, the activity grows during the COVID. For example, the furniture, the gardening, and
the textile sector.
The textile sector, right? Because for some of them, it went well. So what the jobs are related to, the numbers have not increased. Just I don't know. Before the COVID was 0.8 in the county, the unemployed, and now in June it's 0.9. So it's not increased too much. The exports, yes, the exports are lower nowadays, much lower. I can say that in April was with minus. We were to export with minus 53,941, and now in June it's 147,41. So as we can know, for everybody, the coronavirus did some effects. We as a chambers, what we try to do is to come and to their support for each what we listen in the first place, what they have to say, where they have problems, with what they want us to help them or to sustain them. As we are still gathering the information, still talking to them. And now the government has done the same as I think as to all countries, support with money, with unemployed. And I don't know.
Okay, thanks, Tana, for the start. I think we will have more question afterwards. If I understood, all funds are not going through the chamber. I mean, helping funds for the companies.
Yes, no, are not going through the chambers.
Okay.
For us, it's something else for us because of the membership. It's not something obliged because it's optional. That's why the things are a little bit different.
Yeah, sure. We are aware of that. We know. Okay, thanks for a start. We will with conversation about some specific things, I suppose, later on. And I think we shall move now to Banja Luka, to Chamber of Commerce of Republika Srpska. We had some join Zoom conference with your chamber recently, and I know that you have a lot of things to tell us about your members and cooperation. I'm sure that a lot of your members are visiting, for example, we saw this year, And our members are missing some, for example, the Alien Agriculture Fairs. But well, we have to move forward and to find way to connect them anyway. Dragana, please.
Thank you very much. There's some technical obstacles, it seems, in your short introduction. But thank you very much for the invitation. I'm so glad to have a chance to participate again. And I really would like to thank you because you're organizing, we could say now regularly, these kind of events, virtual events. And you are providing us with the chance to share experience and to see what was happening and to hear other colleagues what was happening in these past very strange and challenging months, starting from March in our countries. Thank you once again. I would like to say hello from the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Republic of Srpska to the organizers in Vojvodina, Chamber of Commerce in Vojvodina, and other colleagues from other chambers. Yes, as you said a few months ago, we already talked about the situation in Republic of Srpska and Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I was mentioning then the measures we proposed as a chamber to our government, trying to provide a support for our economy in a very fast way, and in this situation when we were facing something very new and global and didn't know what will happen in next months. Now, to short the story, the measure of support that we proposed and government accepted and implemented, starting from March till May or June, were considering the support in the sense of minimum wage for companies in gross amount, or just taxes and contributions, depending on the fact if the companies. Do you hear me? Because I have some echo here.
We hear you, but now with echo last half of a minute. Before that, it was okay.
Okay, then I hope it will be okay. I will continue. You interrupt me if you don't hear me. So as I said, there was a first measure for job preserving and in the employment rate to preserve in these circumstances. We created, as I said, the measure supporting companies with minimum wage or taxes and contributions, depending on the fact if the companies were banned to work or they just lowering the business activity, but without complete ban or lockdown, as some sectors were faced with do that. So there were some also tax deferrals. We created the measures related to the bank loans, or that consider the moratorium on the paying of bank loans. And of course, as we know that some sectors are more hit than others, we created for the first time here a voucher scheme for tourism, trying to promote domestic touristic potentials and to preserve the citizens to use domestic capacities, tourism in tourism. And that was a very good measure, since that was good measure to help touristic sector here in the country that was really completely in a bad position with the COVID started here. So These are, shortly speaking, measures that we already implemented. I won't go back on the measures that we were working all together when the COVID started and international transport was hit very bad. So I just wanted to emphasize that in that moment, that was a great communication and help within the chamber networks. We all were together in activities trying to resolve international transport problem or regional transport problem. So I remember that we intensively communicated with the chambers in the region and solved that problem with I would say in a very short time, but it was difficult time, but in a very short time, creating green lines in CEFTA countries and special transport regions within the countries in the region. So I just wanted to emphasize how important is that chamber network in these kind of situations, but also in every other situation when it's normal, we have normal conditions to cooperate. Also, one of the results, I mean, we are all probably facing, and the colleagues from other chambers said that we managed to preserve employment rate and to avoid a big drop in employment rate. But I think that business economy is still in situation that is not very positive, or we are facing the fact that COVID will not stop till the end of the year or in the next year. We are hoping, but it is not very sure that it is going to stop. So the economy is facing also the unprediction in that sense, how to handle the situation and how to preserve job operations or business operations on the level that it is acceptable to survive, so to say. We are facing the prediction that fall in GDP will be 5%. But still, we don't have exact statistic data for this year, so we can't talk more precisely. But in the industrial production rate in Bosnia and Herzegovina, now I'm talking, is in the statistics says it's minus 9.2%. So trying to help to our business, to our members, the chambers members, we thought that the good answer for this situation would be to push a digitalization transformation in our SMEs, in our economic sector. So we started with the projects related to digital transformation, and now we have 10 companies as a pilot companies where we are using consultants, certified consultants from the Center of Digital Transformation in Serbia, who are working on creation of digital strategies in our companies. Also, we promoted the IT tools within the business community and the need for them to fastly reorient it to the IT tools. Now we have already 2 or 3 virtual B2Bs implemented, and we helped our companies to be part of virtual B2Bs. And also we have some fairs, virtual fairs, that our companies are involved actively, where they got their virtual fair place and stands and offering their goods via these kind of tools. So yes, I forgot to mention that we also did a survey of our economy at the beginning of the COVID crisis, and for less than 2 months we got over 1,000 answers. There were 8 simple questions asking if they have infected workers, do they have to close their facilities, what are the predictions for the financial loss, if the crisis continue, and then we now we are witness that the crisis continued, unfortunately. So we got in that first moment, that survey helped us actually to create proposal to the governments, and the government created the measures of support that I already mentioned based on that actually data we got from our companies. So this is shortly speaking on what we have done in past months, starting from the March, and I believe that we'll have a chance to discuss again, and maybe just to exchange information, what is necessary for the next period and what we can do together within the chamber system and communication through chamber system to help our economy and to help our companies to create new partnerships or new markets, since it is obvious necessity. This is so much from me for now, and not to take very much time. So I'm here for any questions, and willing to discuss deeper on these issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Dragana. It's not that much, don't worry, it's just a start. So anyway, I will have a question again about your experience with virtual fairs, but leave it for later on. I see your chamber is, as always, updated, fresh, and working. Good. Now, let's hear about economy situation in our province in Vojvodina, in Serbia generally. So I would like to ask my colleague Jelena Bilanovic to give us a short presentation with fresh and updated facts with Vojvodina's economy since yesterday. Please, Jelena.
Thank you, Milan. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. It was a pleasure to hear about your government's program of economic measures. I see that we all have rather similar programs, which is explained by the same situation we are all in. I would just briefly introduce you to our economic trends in Vojvodina. So by the latest data, so from January till July 2020.
Okay, now.
I hope you all can see and hear clearly. Well, Serbia has transformed its economy in the past 6 years. So we had rather strict fiscal restrictions, which helped us a lot during this crisis. However, we did have a drop of GDP by 6.4% in the second quarter of 2020, as you can see in the first graph on the left-hand side. And we are not facing something that the whole world is not facing. We hope that this will all be temporary, but facing by the according to the facts, we did have a positive trend in our GDP growth, with the exception of the second quarter. COVID and the whole global recession will have a less severe impact on Serbia's economy than the other economies in Europe and the whole world. Why? Because the structure of our economy, well, you know that we have a large share of agriculture and not so developed industrial sector. So that will, as to say, help us deal with this crisis better, but also the great packages of support from our government, financial and other ones, that really helped, I think, our SMEs to restrain employment and deal with this crisis in a better way. Talking about inflation, it is stable and moving in the corridors that our National Bank of Serbia already have implemented. So you can see here the monthly and year-to-year rate, very stable and no surprises in our trends. Industrial production, well, Mrs. Dragana Kokot, you mentioned that you had a drop by 9.2%, if I'm right, year on year or month to month? Okay. Can you hear me?
Can you please repeat the question? I didn't understand.
You just mentioned that you had a drop in the industrial production by 9.2% in Bosnia and Herzegovina in month to month or year to year?
Year to year.
Year to year. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you. We do have a positive trend in Vojvodina. We have a higher percentage than the whole national level, but month to month we can see a negative impact. But year to year we do have a positive figures. Also, manufacturing or processing industry has a quite big share in our total industry. So we do import a lot of around 90% of our products from manufacturing industry. Starting from 2016 till 2019, so the latest data, we have a positive trend also in the turnover of goods in retail trade in Serbia and also in Vojvodina, as you can see on the left-hand side in the first graph. So it is in millions of euros. When we speak about external trade of Vojvodina, we had an increase in exports and in imports over the last several years. Exports growth rates also as well as import growth rates, we had ups and downs. In the last year, the same period, we had around 10% growth rate of import and export, whereas we have a drop by 5 or 9% right now. On the right-hand side, we can see that the share of Vojvodina's exports in total exports is around 30% and over 30% when we're talking about imports. In total imports of Serbia. So we now see how much the total impact of Vojvodina's exports and imports in the national same parameters are. In the structure of our top 5 export products, yes, we depend a lot on exporting manufacturing products. On the import side, we are very dependent on the Russian Federation. So you can see here the five most exported and imported products on the latest data. Here, our top 5 partners on import and export side. So Bosnia and Herzegovina, I'm sorry, we don't have data on Republika Srpska. We do have on Bosnia and Herzegovina, also Hungary, we have here, and Romania. So right now we're talking with our top 3 partners. On the import side, Hungary as well, and that's it. You can see also the top 2 products that are exported and imported from each country, and also the percentage. The share of the major foreign trade partners in total external trade is shown in the left-hand side graph. Only with Germany we do have a share in total external trade over 10%. In other 9 countries we have at least 3% and going on till 9.6. You can all find yourself as a partner here. So we have Hungary is on our list, Romania and Bosnia-Herzegovina, because we don't have data about Republika Srpska. And with Romania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, we do have a positive balance in foreign trade. I'm sorry. And Hungary as well, yes. So all the three partners, we have a positive trade. I mean, that means that you have negative balance. We have positive one. In tourism sector that was most affected in our country by the COVID-19 pandemics, we had a great drop in tourist arrivals and tourist overnight stays in Vojvodina. We had ups and downs from 2016 till 2020, July. But our tourism sector has suffered the most. In my free opinion, Zoran will help me later, but in this program of economic measures that our government imposed, we did not have a certain measure for tourism sector. Whereas in the second wave of COVID-19, the government did pay greater attention to specifically the tourism sector. So I hope it did help them somehow survive and save employees. Uh, 5 years respectively, we did have registered employment growth in Serbia and as well as in Vojvodina. A great share of our employees come from manufacturing industry, then from wholesale and retail trade, education, health and social protection, traffic and storage, public administration, etc. You can see that all in the second graph. According to the latest data, the average salaries per employee in Vojvodina grew, net and gross salaries average. So we did have a slight increase. Talking about districts of Vojvodina, South Bačka district has the highest salaries on the right-hand side, as you can all see, so above 500 euros net salaries per employee. And all the other districts have, so 6 of them have below 500 euros. Thank you very much for your attention. And please, if you have some questions, we are all here to answer them. Thank you.
Thanks, Jelena. I hope that you got some good glimpse about changes in economy in our province in a recent time. Before I open some debate and go on with question, I would like to share some experience in the recent period with other 2 my colleagues. first Mr. Branislav Mamic, Service Association Secretary, one of sectors that has been more injured by those pandemic was in his sector, and he can share this experience and some other good ones with us. Branislav, please.
Hello to everyone. I just want to continue with information which my colleague Elena started before. From the beginning of the crisis, we follow what's happening in the Serbia and Vojvodina too. And we was very active according circumstances. But what we did, we followed the measure of the government. For your information, in the beginning, all the Serbian companies can get a support from the government, including in touristic sector. After the crisis is a little less down in the beginning of the June, we hope that the season will be better than we find out it's not true now. And we start to promote the domestic touristic product. And we used to organize a few seminars here in the Chambers of Commerce of Vojvodina, and we collect a few touristic agency and all touristic workers who can promote the Serbian domestic product. And after 2 months, we find out that we succeed with some ideas because the touristic economy in Serbia is not such affected like what we missed the foreign tourism in Serbia. In the beginning of September, government of Serbia opened the new line to help the hotel industry, specific for hotel industry, until the middle of the September. It's mean that all city hotels, specific city hotels, because we have some result from the spas and the mountain hotels. They have only some guests and they make some money, and the government realized that we must direct help the city hotels. How it will running, we are not sure in this moment, but in some next session, we will inform you what is the result of this government measure. And this number what we're talking about, they're really bad, unfortunately, because we have the excellent start of this year. Because the first 2 months, it's the best result from the time when we even measure these results. Unfortunately, Novi Sad and Vojvodina, it's known about different kinds of festivals. For example, Exit. We missed more than the few thousand, hundred guests from the abroad. Unfortunately, the Novi Sad fair is cancelled in the meantime. The Lorist this is a fair about tourism and hunters industry that is cancelled too. And we shall see. We must be patient. I hope so that maybe to the end of the year, we will make some calculation and the life must go on. I'm an optimist. I think so that we will be better next year. So I hope you, because I understand that the situation is really similar in your own countries too. That's for the first information. It's enough for my side, I think so.
Sure, thank Branislav. Before I leave the floor to my other colleague, Mr. Trepovsky, Secretary of Industry Association of our chamber, I would just like to address a couple of questions so that maybe colleagues from Szeged and from Banja Luka can prepare this one. What I'm interested in is experience about web fairs. How it's function, what reaction and follow-ups are. We had some announcement from our partners in Skopje regarding the fairs in the Turkey, but so far didn't have any other action. And also, what interested me the most is those loans action in the Szeged Chamber of Commerce. how those lines are going through what's bank like. I think, Susanna, you mentioned that SMEs can apply for the loan in the chamber. Maybe I'm not right, but I understood like that. And also, if it's possible, can you share with us your SME Restart Survival Pack, whatever it is? I mean, e-form or something. Maybe we can grab your idea and do something similar. I love your name for that. Just that you can be prepared for this. But before that, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Trpovsky. He's got also some ideas regarding those COVID crises in regional economy. Please.
Thank you. I was also interested to hear about that bank cards, that loan scheme, if I can say, by using card. You know, this is very interesting to see how it works. But I just wanted to mention something about trade from our point of view, from Vojvodina perspective. We can see that in that first 7 months of this year, we have just something like a huge decrease with Romania. It is almost 20%, but with other countries, with Bosnia and Herzegovina, and we have something almost similar level of trade like last year. But with Hungary, we have a rather big increase of almost more than 14%. It means that even in those difficult times, I think that the business people managed to continue with international trade, with cooperation. I think it is very important because we know, and maybe one of the lessons which we'll have after that crisis, which is still going on, that we have to be more open to each other within certain regions, because the big dependency, large dependency to some distant countries can be a bit dangerous. It means that I think we have to continue that process of helping our business people to find each other and to help them to communicate and to trade, because I think even with all the difficult things which happen in the first 7 months, it goes rather well. And maybe just to add something about that help and the measure of governments for helping economy. In Serbia, we had a rather big package of help. You know, the government is always in each country try to show that everything is the best. You know, some people think it's not good, but we can say that the help was rather good, and it was not time there was not time for selective measures at the beginning. I'm sure that a lot of companies who receive measure at the beginning really didn't need that help because they had rather good business results, but I think they simply have to help they had to help everybody, and that was the purpose of that measures. For us, for Serbia, and I think for Bosnia and Herzegovina, will be very interesting to see how it works in European Union countries, because I think the announcement was made that the big, huge package of help for the European Union countries will be ready. And I think in a few months period, or maybe at the beginning of next year, for us will be very, very interesting to see how it works in countries like Romania and Hungary, because I'm sure they will be among countries which will receive that help, you know, and we would like to know which kind of measures will be and what will be the mechanism of receiving that kind of help through European Union. That is maybe just for my side for the beginning of that discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoran. Well, it's all point of view. If something is obstacle for one, it's opportunity for the other one. So that's how I'm looking at those figures with bigger figures in our trade. That's mean that those crises just give us back to the region. That's I think we should be more communicating with our company and giving them such advices for the export if they got good goods. Dragana, can I have you now again to talk about those web fairs or whatever it's called, please?
Yes. I just wanted to mention, I also prepared some data on foreign trade exchange with the countries, but they're all negative, so there is no need to talk about that at the moment. So going back to the virtual fairs or web fairs, so far we participated, I mean, our companies participated in one China Brand Expo fair. It was 7 of our companies from agriculture and food production sector participated. The fair lasts for 1 month, and they had our 7 companies from Republic of Srpska. They had their virtual stand where they presented their products. And also there was opportunity for them to have B2Bs. They were, how to say, online in some periods during that 1 month, and they had B2B meetings with the interested partners from China or other countries that were involved in that fair. So we did it 2 months ago. Now we are preparing our companies for China Cultural Expo. That's a new one with China. And also starting from this 15 to 19 September, there is also a fair for Central East European countries in China, where we are also preparing our companies to make a presentation or to have a stand. And what is interesting for to mention also, with in cooperation with Foreign Trade Chamber of Bosnia and Herzegovina, we are preparing first local, not local, it's the first virtual fair that we are organizing, and it is devoted to metal and wood processing companies. So that fair is supposed to happen at the end of October, but I can definitely provide you with more detailed information via emails. Because I don't have all details now at the moment. So I can send you all details, and maybe to see in which phases this our fair that we are preparing to see. But I believe that colleagues already spread the information, but I can check that and inform you more detail about each of these actually fairs, but specifically also for this one where we are organizers. And I would like to mention one fact also. For the first China Brand Expo fair, when we sent the information to our companies, it was really interesting. We provided them with full support, meaning that we helped them to apply for the fair, to go through all the organizational and technical issues. And then we helped them in some moments. We were actually interpreters for them when they had B2Bs, if they don't have someone from their company to communicate in that sense. So we were helping. So it was really interesting experience for all of us in the chamber, but for our companies too. So if you need any further detail or more details about our experience and the experience of our companies, we are definitely willing to share it with you after this formal part, or via email or one-to-one communication via Zoom or any other platform. So I don't know if I answered. Also, we had some online conferences like this within the European Enterprise Europe Network. and also B2Bs. We are in that conference is also virtual web based.
Thanks, Dragana. It's good to see that we can share some experience. So this maybe we really can afterwards change some mail with feedback if you have from your companies. Our politician would ask us how many contracts did they made or something like that. Of course, I'm not thinking about that, but really, are they satisfied? What do they think whether they would carry on with web fairs or not? And you just mentioned European Enterprise Network, so you made me to know something that I wanted to leave to the end. Enterprise Europe Network has a platform for online B2Bs now, and we decided to hold our third regional business forum. It's not going to happen in October, but in November. It's a 10 on November. We are going to open platform tomorrow, together with, of course, all players like last 2 years. It's European Assembly of European Region, Assembly of Province of Vojvodina, Provincial Government, Development Agency of Vojvodina, and Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Vojvodina. So in a 3 to 4 weeks time, when we fill up a platform with the domestic company, we would kindly ask you to spread those ideas and ask your companies to join the meeting. It's going to be mixed, so we will have a plenary session in our hall, in this hall, regarding the all measure, healthy measure, but B2Bs will be only online. And we have announcement from our colleagues from ME Network that last 2-3 conferences that they held was very, very good. Thanks for that. Can we move now to say it? Susanna, if you have some answers for our curiosity about those loans and your packages for restart of SMEs, please.
Yes, thank you. So this card is a financial help for SMEs, but it's not for the Csongrád countries. So it's a Hungarian product, and it started more than 20 years ago when the chambers and other organization found this special product, and now so from the beginning there is a state support. So the interest rate is now 0% because we got the state support, and the banks give the money, but the chamber's colleague do the pre-qualification process. So we know very well the companies, and the companies financial, we know the financial background, and that's why there is a electrical system in the background, and it's a shorter process than the other loan, and no interest rate, and if somebody is the member of the chamber, it's free of charge for them. And now this crisis, the government would have liked to support the companies, and the chambers offer this product that it's a special product, and it's open for many sectors. For example, there is special product for agriculture, field, and now we start a new product for tourism. So I can share the detailed information for you and some background information in next week. And we have a special regulation, but only in Hungarian, but we will send you in English for next year. Okay.
Okay, yeah, thanks very much for the info. Yeah, we understood. Don't worry, English is not our mother tongue anyway, so we are all having the same problem. Well, I will be like a teacher here. Can I just ask Timisoar colleagues Stana and Christina to share your experience today, whether they heard something that they can introduce to their chambers, or maybe some other suggestions.
It's very interesting what we have heard about Chamber of Commerce Hungary, Csongrád, about that loan. It's very interesting and very nice, but unfortunately your Chamber of Commerce has different meaning than ours. We are a little bit different, so but anyhow, our president will hear about every suggestion that you made to your government, and we will try to share everything what he have heard today, because it's very interesting, and to see in which manner we can apply.
Okay. Thanks, Dana. I don't know, it was only me that addressed the question. Do you have some specific question for colleagues? Any one of you?
No, we don't have.
Okay.
Can I just, it is not a question, just a request for Ms. Susanna. It's really interesting that I would say a special loan scheme in Hungary. It would be interesting to have a more precise details and criteria how the chamber do that, how they do the pre-qualification, or how it's functioning in whole. So if it's possible to get some more information in English, that would be great. Or maybe Susanna can inform us or give us some links or websites where we could check that. It's really interesting. And I have only one question. I'm sorry, related to who was talking about the tourism support in Serbia. You mentioned that there are some new measures in preparation or not. Did I understood it well or not? Because we are in this very moment, in these last few days, trying to create some measures till the end of the year, this year, to give additional support to our companies, and specifically, I mean, among the others, to hotels, actually, to hotels and touristic agencies. So if you have something already ready, I would appreciate if you could share it with me. Thank you.
Yes, I will try to explain what's happened in this moment now. In the beginning, it was support for all company. After the June, the government realized that it's a huge and deeply problem is in touristic sector and sector of transport, of social transport, and so on. And what is in conclusion, the hotels, but specific city hotels from the 67 municipalities from Serbia, they can apply to get the support from government. In the meantime, the government offered the vouchers for domestic touristic product, and unfortunately, interest for this voucher was not so high, And the government decided this part of money offered to help the hotel industry in this moment. The specific details I cannot explain now. I really can send you in the moment when we find out what is really, because it is now is in the process, and it finished in the 15th of September, I think so. After that, I can inform you about the details. That is the idea. From the other side, the problem with the touristic agency is still open. And they are in the huge problem too, and not only the agency, you can calculate of the touristic guides, and they are in the deepest problem, that is agency. According situation, they are not officially companies, they are person, and they working about some contract and so on, and they really lost the jobs, the many jobs in this moment. Just for your information, in this part of touristic industry in Serbia, we have more than 70,000 employees, and almost the same numbers of outsourcing people we are connected to on this sector. That is, it's not really funny situation, but I really hope that this healthy part of crisis will be stopped. In the moment we can recover, I'm sure, as fast as possible. That's it.
Thanks, Branislav. I just see the note that there is a link sent by Szeged Chamber of Commerce regarding the card program. Thanks a lot. Of course, I think we communicate to each other every day. If anything necessary, please do not hesitate, contact us in Vojvodina Chamber, and be sure that we will do the same thing with you if we need some assistance or help. If there is no further question, sorry, maybe there is a Mr. Trepowski.
Just for Dragana, I would like to hear the impression of companies regarding that China virtual fair. What was the impression of them? You know, how they felt about it, and what do you think? Is it possible for them to have some kind of contacts or some kind of agreement with Chinese partners or some other partners from different countries?
Unfortunately, at the very moment, I don't have the precise information. I mean, I will provide you with that definitely on email. But they were what was very important for us is that companies were very interested to participate. For example, the first one I was mentioning, China Brand Expo. We were supposed to give only 5 companies to apply for the fair exhibition, but we had more interested companies, so we managed to provide that for 7 companies. I mean, the organizer limited us on 5 companies per each country, and then we managed to get 7 companies to exhibit at the fair. So the companies are very interested and very satisfied, but with exact data, so what they succeed during that 1 month, I will provide you later because I don't have it at the moment.
Thanks, Dragana. Anyone else? Something more to add? No? Okay, if not, officially, I would like to thank you all for your time, presentation, information, being together. I'm sure that we will see each other, if not on the other way, on this one, digitally transformed. We already are. And please join us Regional Business Forum in November. So I will be, you know, more than offensive in that in following weeks, but you understand that is very important event for our region, maybe the most important in the second half of our year. Once more, we are here for any questions for you or your members. once more, thanks a lot, and have a good afternoon from all colleagues from Chamber of Economy of Vojvodina. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much.